Hello and welcome to Let's Replay Mystery Case Files Shadow Lake. I'm MCFPapa and this is part 1. Kinda weird that this game doesn't have any sort of intro cutscene like the other MCF games have had. I don't know why it doesn't, but at the very least, if you're listening to the music, unlike Escape from Ravenhurst, for this game they actually composed a whole unique theme for this game. And it's the last Mystery Case Files game to have a theme that actually properly remixes the entire song instead of what later MCF games did, which was just kinda repeat half the song instead of doing it all. And also, I believe to this day, Shadow Lake is the lowest rated Mystery Case Files game on Big Fish Studios' website. If it isn't the lowest rated, it was for a long time. And I don't think it deserves it at all. I think it's a great game. I'd say it's probably the most underrated, you could say, of any of the Mystery Case Files games. Because it was very high effort. And it's the last game in what I consider the swan song era of Big Fish Studios, because this is the last one they ever made in the series. And it was a pretty decent one to go out on, if you ask me. But enough of my talking, let's just get started. And because I'm such a pro gamer, of course I will be playing on expert difficulty.
Detective, I hope you get this message. My name is Cassandra Williams. I'm a psychic consultant for a paranormal TV show called Ghost Patrol. We're filming an episode here in the deserted town of Bitterford, Maine, and I need your unique expertise. There's something terribly wrong here. I can feel it.
I guess this game does have an intro cutscene, they just put it after the title screen to get you right into the action. And now, one, though, negative compared to the other previous MCF games is there isn't an interesting, like, journal by the Master Detective chronicling all their thoughts and such. They did away with that for some reason, and instead just have this tasks and notes. I don't know why. I guess they couldn't be bothered to do a bunch of flavor text. And it wouldn't be for several games till that sort of journal actually returned. And the HUD, you might remember from Escape from Ravenhurst, very similar here. And for some reason, the Master Detective has a motorcycle in this game. I don't know why. They just kind of wanted to give him a motorcycle, I guess. And it's the first thing to have a proper map screen. Though, well, I guess 13th Skull had a map screen too, but this one actually lets you go between locations. And something kinda unique is in this strategy guide, it's literally impossible for you to view all the pages of it, which is kind of weird because all it'll do is highlight what your current objectives are and automatically skip to that point. I guess it's a unique thing to do, but anyway, there's a notebook that we can't reach and no one at the motel. But here's our introduction to the Ghost Patrol, which I absolutely love the Ghost Patrol, even if they, for their logo, they just reuse Escape from Ravenhurst's font and such. Like, I just love them, so let's just get right to meeting them.
No, we were just leaving, and no, I don't give out autographs, so if you'll excuse me. Has anyone seen my lip balm? You don't know who I am, do you? Jack Talon, host of Ghost Patrol, rated number 3 in reality TV ghost hunting shows by the readers of the Paranormal Weekly blog. Come at me, ghosts! Nothing? Ah, you're that detective Cassandra called. No wonder you haven't heard of me. You're obviously too busy solving your little crimes to watch quality television. Well, knock yourself out poking around this crappy town. Ghost Patrol is off duty. Oh.
Yeah, I love, though, the Ghost Patrol for just how they're such a perfect satire of the ghost hunting reality TV shows you can find on places. Locked and no one's answering. And graphically, this game is even better looking than Escape from Ravenhurst, and I really love how they designed this whole town with having an eerie mist in all the locations. It really adds to the creepy factor. And then, as the strategy guide said, we can look at the notebook to find the guide for the combination to the safe. I mean, there's a bit of flavor text with all the tasks, and it is kind of cool to see how these empty pages fill up with stuff you collect in your exploration, but it's just kind of lame, if you ask me. But let's see what's on television.
This is Penny Clark reporting to you live here from our studios at KHAD, Portland, Maine. Boy, it looks like real pea soup fog out there today, folks. So be careful out there on those roads.
Reception ain't that good.
This has also caused huge problems for air traffic. All flights have been grounded until further notice. But
Yeah, that's the thing about this game is, unlike Escape from Ravenhurst, where there was some, like, really unsettling environments to explore, this game relies a lot more on sort of jump scares to scare you. And look at that animation. Amazing. I don't know, though, the implication of this TV jump scare Did they just put it in to be creepy, or like was there a ghost actually possessing the TV to make the news reporter look like that? Or did the news reporter in Portland actually like be possessed? I don't know. Now, in here, we can get some photo paper and see the guide on developing a photo. This riveting stuff. Wait a minute. This is the hardware cursor I have on, isn't it? Yeah. I don't want that. I want the big gloved hands. See how much better that looks? And then we can just do some developing. And there's the license plate. Apparently, though, like, they're supposed to be from California, but California's license plates aren't actually that sort of format. So that's a bit of a missing opportunity. Also, I wonder why they chose Maine as a location. I guess maybe because Maine was just underrepresented in the horror scene, or in the hidden object game scene. I don't know. But we just turn the mattress to U-Animal, and then we can set up the phone to plug in. And her number's 512-4472. Now this is actually probably a hard puzzle for people that don't quite understand rotary phones. And now also, like, there's this whole hotel area here, but like the town's been abandoned for a really long time, so is there someone nearby who actually still bothers working here? I would assume so, since there's like a guest register and everything. But it's just kind of weird. I don't know who would want to even come to like an abandoned town to stay. That would make a motel here profitable. But anyway, since we got all that info, it's BAA 7207 for the safe. I'm pretty sure that's randomized too. That's kind of weird. They make like a rummaging sound effect. I don't know what that's about. And if we try to open the joining door, we can't. But it's kind of cool they bothered to have this like changing perspective thing here for just this one little scene in the game. And then in here we can get night vision goggles and a camera. And now we meet the flagship character in this game, Cassandra Williams.
You must be the master detective. Thank God you got my message. I didn't know who else to call. And that Ghost Patrol is more interested in ratings than solving this mystery. I'm Cassandra, by the way. The one who left you the message. We have our work cut out for us, so I think we should start right away. Take these drawings I've made, and this two-way radio so we can communicate while you're investigating. I'll give you the directions to the Shadow Lake Penitentiary and explain more as we go on. Good luck, Detective.
Yeah, and Cassandra's played by Leah Thompson, the actress most famous for being in the Back to the Future movies as Marty McFly's mom.
The spirits have been communicating to me through a technique we psychics call auto-drawing. With their guidance, I've made the drawings I gave you, representing actual locations in town. All you need to do is place each one on the spot where its spiritual imprint is strongest, and then bring them all back to me. Let's start here at the old prison. Place the first drawing on the matching window, and charge it with psychic energy.
Yeah, I used to joke to myself when I was younger that, like, Big Fish Studios just blew all their budget on hiring Leah Thompson, and that's why they couldn't afford to do more Mystery Case Files games.
Nice job, Detective. Sadly, that is the only drawing I recognize. But I'm sure you'll find the rest somewhere in the prison.
And now these drawings are pretty much the same as the collector's edition exclusive door tokens from Escape from Ravenhurst, but here they're a sepia tone that you gotta charge up, making it a bit harder to figure out where they go, so you gotta be a bit more creative with them. I think they were done better in this game than they were in Escape from Ravenhurst, and there's more of them here too. But the door's locked, so we gotta go investigate this.
The battery in the EVP recorder is fully charged and the sensitivity is set to high.
I'm hiding the key to the prison underneath the stone ball at the base of the entryway steps. Hey, did you guys just hear something? Shh, listen.
Ooh, a jump scare of a pigeon. Did that scare you? Wasn't that frightening? Wow. I mean, I guess this game, like, does have some horror sense of, like, isolation, kind of like what Dire Grove had, but at least in this game, there's Cassandra Williams all the time, so you aren't as alone.
This place is overflowing with supernatural power. If you could find these objects infused with the psychic energy of lingering spirits, I may be able to get a clearer picture.
Yeah, now this is one thing this game has over Escape from Ravenhurst, is there's actual hidden objects to find. And also, there's even some randomization in what you need to find. It's not a ton, it's not all like 12 items all the time randomized, but there's a handful of them. So that's cool. Although, because there's no penalty for misclicking. Oh, there is a penalty for misclicking. I totally forgot about that. I probably have experienced it before. So you can't just, like, click randomly. But you'll know when a scene's done if there aren't any, if it, like, locks up so you can't access it again. But it is cool, like, splitting up the objects you need to find into all sorts of different mini scenes. You know, that's a neat little evolution. And I think this key goes to the thing. With that sick 3D animation of the key and everything.
Detective, I'm getting a reading from the objects that you have found. There was a prisoner here by the name of Jamie Monahan. Maybe you can find some more information about him in the records room.
And it even makes more sense, like, you have a reason to find the objects, because it allows Cassandra to do, like, a psychic reading to figure out something else you need, instead of just the randomly collecting one of the 12 items you found, like you did in the 13th Skull in Dire Grove and that. And also the spirits in Escape from Ravenhurst just kind of randomly blew up something to draw your attention to it, so that's a bit more fitting if you ask me. Oh, and also there's light at the end of the tunnel of that grate. I wonder if that'll be important later. But we'll go into the records room in the next part, so like and subscribe if you want. I'll see you then.